All right. It's the last segment, the most monumental hour in media anywhere, the Get Warrior Tough radio show with Andrew Wittman, the Dutch Coleman, your friendly neighborhood leadership and mental toughness coaches, bringing the thunder, dropping the hammer. What else, Dutch?
I think I like those.
Yeah. I know I'm kind of railing on this. And listen, and I got to tell you, Dutch, is because you know why I'm so passionate about this subject in particular is because for so many years I had a defeated mindset or a survival mindset, and I was brought up that way and I was surrounded by it. And it wasn't just my parents. It was teachers. It was, the coaches at Little League. It was the neighbors. It was the ministers. Everywhere I go, we say these things like, money don't grow on trees. And a penny saved is a penny earned. And, no, it's not. Who wants to save or earn pennies anyway? They add up. All right, so this is why you're struggling. This is why I struggled, because I bought into all that. And then you buy into the stuff that, well, you don't want that money anyway. That money doesn't buy you happiness. There's another one. Money don't buy happiness. My little girl came in the other day. She said, somebody told me money don't buy happiness. I just looked at them and thought, they're stupid, because it could buy you a boat. You could go to Disney anytime you want. You could have a beach house. You could go. I could do a lot of stuff that would make me happy with that money. I said, you're exactly right. And people that say money can't buy you happiness, the only people that say that are people that don't have it.
Well, I always tell people money can't buy you happiness, but it's a heck of a down payment on something.
Yeah, right.
It'll get you started. You got to do the real work to be happy, but it'll get you started. That's just a down payment right there.
Listen, anybody. Let's do an experiment. If you think that I'm lying, just give me all your money for the next 2 weeks. I'll take it all, and you do without yours, and see who's happier. You already know it's just a bunch of nonsense, Dutch. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie, and it's delusional thinking. And we all hang on to it because what we're trying to do is delude ourselves and make ourselves feel better because we ain't got none. I just read an article this week. Sorry, man. I just got to read it. Read an article this week. Air rage in the air, based on the classes, because people get 87% more incidents on a plane when people sit in economy have to go through the first class when they load the plane on the front than if they loaded it in the middle, because they have class envy of the people that paid more to sit in first class. And I was sitting next to a guy, not this week, but 2 weeks ago, and he's, doing the elbow thing. And first off, he's 350 pounds, okay? Now, I'm 220 and I'm 6'5", but I'm really like a skinny guy because I'm so tall. This dude was into my seat, and he's just huffing and puffing. And he, you're in my seat. I'm like, no, sir, you're over into my seat. And what's the problem? Well, these seats aren't big enough, blah, blah, blah. I said, I have nowhere to go, sir. Maybe you should have bought a first-class ticket. He said, well, maybe you should have. I said, well, I'm not the one complaining, but, I didn't on this trip. I love it when I can. They actually were full because normally I get upgraded, right? So, but there's that envy because instead of saying how, I'll just go buy the first-class ticket and move up there when it's available, complaining about your life where you are. This drives me absolutely insane. Enough with the complaining. Stop envying. Stop saying it's worse in first class. It isn't. It's better in first class. And I'll tell you one even better. It's better on corporate jets. Go get a private jet. I've flown a lot of private jets. All right.
Well, I tell you what. I've been poor before, and I'm much rather not be poor.
Yeah.
Again, and when people say that, people give the partial truth. That's what I don't like. It's not the full truth when they say, money can't buy you happiness and stuff like that. Look, we all have to do the same work when it comes to building relationships and all that stuff. But I much rather build my relationship with my wife, in the home that I have now than in the homeless shelter I grew up in. So when people say money can't buy you love, I'm a lot more comfortable having conversations with my wife about the future of our kids and all that stuff in our home than again in a homeless shelter. So
it's no-brainer stuff. This is what gets me. It's no-brainer.
But they say these things again. It's the scarcity. It's the fear and scarcity thing, and we got to get out of that. We got to free our minds to get away from that nonsense and allowing those people to create the self-talk that we have. We got to come up with our own based on real, tangible, factual information. And the fact of the matter is that you're not the only one that started out where you are now. You're not the only one that's ever been poor. You're not the only one that's ever had challenges. But the fact is that there's been a lot of people that started out exactly where you are with the exact same challenges and have made it. That's a fact. It's not a fact that you're never going to make it, that you're doomed, that you're in over your head. Those are not facts. But we allow that to dominate the conversation, that to determine our mindset and all those different things. We have got to get away from that.
And Dutch, and this is anecdotal, but it is factual. Both you and I come from very, very humble beginnings.
Amen.
And we are out of that morass, and we are well on our way. Okay? And we have huge targets that we need to hit. And because we do, we're willing to go do the work to focus on earning, not just saving this and saving that and scrimping this and scrimping that. And I'll invest stuff, for business at a drop of a hat. I invest stuff in my relationship with my wife and my kids at a drop of a hat. I don't take them on vacation and we don't get the big package. When we go. Because when I grew up, we would go to the boardwalk at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, and we could watch other kids ride the rides. That was our fun. We're going to go watch other people ride the rides. How insane is that? And then we'll say, well, money can't buy happiness. Well, those kids looked really happy getting to ride the rides on the boardwalk while we could just watch.
The other one that's very popular where I'm from is more money, more problems. And I always say, you know what?
Yeah,
I've mastered no money. I'm welcoming problems with more money.
Yeah.
I've mastered no money.
Here's the problem with when you have money, and listen, I've seen it. I worked for the fourth richest dude in the world, and I was with them 24/7. Here's the problem that they have. Everybody comes to them with their hands out. They're not even sure who's really their friend at that point because everybody just wants something from them because of their money. That's the problem, and I'll take that problem any day over the problem of, oh, my gosh, how are we going to get the bills paid? How are we going to get the kids' clothes and shoes? How are we going to get food on the table?
Well, more money, more problem is just an illustration of you hadn't been prepared for the more money. That's the problem. It's not the money that's the problem. It's that you have not been prepared for the more money. So whenever you're not prepared for whatever it is, you're going to have problems. So people are inserting money in there. When I say, hand me a football and I haven't practiced, I have a problem. Hand me a baseball bat in front of Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
And he's pitching and I don't know what I'm doing. I have a problem. I hadn't prepared. So you hand me a bunch of money. More money, more problems because I haven't prepared to have money.
Right, and I'll just give you an insight onto the parents that have tons of money. When they're bringing their kids up, they actually cannot use the cop-out, we can't afford it. And that's the problem. So it's like that first generation of money has a hard time because they haven't learned that you have to say, listen, this is not a priority. This would not be helpful for you to buy you whatever you want, X, Y, Z. You can't tell the 16-year-old we can't afford a Porsche when you can. We can't afford that. They know you're lying, so you're not congruent. You have to tell them, listen, you haven't earned a Porsche. It would go against my value system to give you the Porsche. I didn't have when I was 16 here. You could drive this other car first and work your way up. And when you earn the money to buy your own Porsche, then we're good to go. But see, the parent, we can't afford it. See, that's the problems that they have when you get tons of money and you're not prepared for it.
Absolutely. So don't focus on the money. Focus on the preparation. Focus on the plan. Focus on the vision. Put it in action, and all the other stuff will come later.
Right, and so here's the difference between the elite warrior and the average-minded. The elite warrior is not results-oriented. Listen, the average-minded are results-oriented. The elite warrior is execution-oriented. So I'm going to execute the process that I know that brings me success, and I just keep doing it over and over again. Just stick to the process, stick to the process, stick to the process. The average-minded, worrying about the results and looking at the results. Stop looking at the scale and stop looking at your bank account and focus on the process of filling your bank account and getting your weight right. I know I'm cranked up, Dutch, but this is too important, man. Hey, to be continued. The hour is gone. I love you, Dutch. I'll see you next week on the radio. Shout out to Mickey Plyer.